Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Play action. It's Jackson. Flush to his right. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They go play action with Jackson. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level. 7-0. We're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that...
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big play there for Carolina. First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Again, McCaffrey. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Third and goal, Jackson. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
No, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Jeremy Chin there defensively. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Panthers force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one. Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
To throw again on second down. Jackson, he's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a throw here to his running back. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bud Dupree gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Will throw that one away. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5.
It's a 54-yard punt with a return of 11.
And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
5-3 their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line.
Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing. And that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he could make anything happen.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That's complete to Hightower.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial. A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson.
He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Jackson from the shotgun. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. Touchdown, Carolina. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brian Burns, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Now back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
Here we go. Back.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. On now is the Titans punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Take it at the 37. 54 yards on the punt, 12 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They go play action now. Jackson. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
That caught by Tremble. And down inside the 15 he goes.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And the Panthers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Tyree Jackson keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, this hasn't been their cleanest first half of football. Last thing they wanted to do was give it up to the opposition, but able to keep it as it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, tough first half, no doubt about it. But if they turn it over there, now things turn a little, how would you say it, dire? And they didn't need that hassle at all. So being able to take care of the football is paramount. Fortunate bounce for them there in order to retain it.
That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flushed out right. Back to Brown, this time complete. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line. I'm here all day. Like 22.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we come upon halftime, intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And he'll go out of bounds all the way down inside the 35.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Second half begins with a run by Henry. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll roll him out right. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Quick slant to Brown. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Open man left side. It's the tight end Trimble.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Play action. It's Jackson. He'll buy some time right.
There's Trimble, the tight end.
He did it again, and he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big play that time on the catch and run.
Of note, that last throw right there, putting him over 3,000 yards passing now for the year.
And when you start running the numbers in your head and realize that we're not halfway done with the season yet, you think to yourself, could this be a 6,000-yard season? That's definitely on the table.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A big play there for Carolina. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal. This time Jackson will throw it. Sliding out of the pocket. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. It's a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this third quarter. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead now increases to 20-0.
So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
Takes it at the 7. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Check by 21. Coming.
2nd and 5. His throw is incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
22's coming, 22's coming, Mike. I'm here all day. Mike 22, Mike 22. Double dog, double dog.
They'll look to throw. This will be taken in by Hightower. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
7 yards the pick up there.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Let's go. Mike 21, check Mike 21. Defense wins championship.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. A check down here for Henry. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21. Wild Bill.
They'll look to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Panthers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson. Oh, he bowls over it. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
A gain of 26 yards. First down, Panthers.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Jackson on first down. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
The Panthers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Point after, right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Jackson. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. The Panthers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. Play action. Now Jackson. He's going to look deep for more. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play there for Carolina. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Jackson. That's complete out right to the tight end, Trimble. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Rashaan Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there. Second and 16.
Watch the slants. Watch the slant. 55 is my guy. 55. I got you, punk. 19 tight.
Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Sam Sloman for the PAT.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead.
After the touchdown, Sloman to do the kickoff honors. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And now here is another interception.
It's C.J. Henderson picking it off.
And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. They go play action now. Jackson. Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
2nd and 2.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire